This video will cover government documents, what they are, and where you can find them through Ingram Library. A government document is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's any document that is published by any government. So not just the American federal government, but state governments, local governments like the city of Carrollton, other country governments like the British government or China or London or the European Union or NATO, anything that is a government entity. A document can mean any published item by any government, so that includes websites, flyers, studies, statistics, posters, speeches by government entities, pictures, bills, videos, anything at all, so long as it is released by a government entity. Ingram Library is a federal depository, so we have quite a few government documents in our print collections. And to find those print collections, we, as well as a good selection of our electronic documents, you can look in the book tab of our library homepage, just like you would look for any print document. So I'm going to go to our book tab and I'll search for global warming, just to give us something to play around with. And by default, this searches all of the print items in our collection here at Ingram Library, as well as a selection of our online books and other documents. We have a number of different ways that we can sort and limit our documents over here on the left side. But we know that government documents can be any of these kind of items. You can have a government movie, you can have a government book, or a government map. So the best place to actually limit to government documents is over on the left side. Under location, you'll actually see that you can limit to our compact shelving government documents on the main floor. We also have a number of different places that say government documents or GovDocs, and you can click on Show More to get sort of a list of all of them. So for instance, I can say I want government documents and GovDocs fiche. And when I do that, it will limit to just the stuff that is in our government documents collections. Now, these work just the same way as book government documents. So we have the full title, we have who the author is, and oftentimes for government documents you don't have a specific person as the author, you have the government entity that came up with that, as well as its call number. Our government documents in our print collection use a system called SUDOC, or Superintendent of Documents, instead of Library of Congress, to use its call numbers, but it works basically the same way, where you write down this particular call number and you go to our main floor and you can find that call number in alphabetical order. We have quite a few of these sort of very specific committee hearings because they tend to have very specific titles that are very descriptive, so it's a nice way to find out what exactly is going on in our Congress. If you go and check these out, what you'll actually see is the evidence and the interviews with the scientists and the Congress people that are the basis for all of the decisions that your particular congressmen are making. But we also have books and maps and government and other types of government documents listed in here. If you find a item that you would like more information on, you can click on its title and it will take you to its record and give you a bit more information about who published it, and sometimes you'll get some information about its subject headings and you'll be able to find more information on that topic. Electronic government documents tend to be a whole different beast than our print government documents. You saw some of them will be listed under our book tab, and they'll have the online link there, just basically where the call number would be listed. But we also have under research tools an entire page dedicated to government documents. So you can click on government documents over here. And then if you scroll down, you will find information about the Federal Depository Library Program, a list of A to Z list of government departments and agencies. Many of them release reports and statistics and other information on their websites, as well as a very useful research guide called Government Information at Ingram Library. Here we've got a list of sort of 5 really great places to start and find lots of information and official publications from all across the United States government. My favorite is USA.gov. You can also just go directly to USA.gov. You don't have to go through Ingram Library, but very similar to our book search, you can go to USA.gov and search for whatever your topic is. And basically what it does is only search government websites. And this can be really useful because a lot of these government websites have the original research that's funded by the government and by grants like NIHH and scientific grants through different agencies. So it's really nice to come here and sort of get the original statistics. And for each of these, you just do exactly what you would do in a Google search. You can click on it and it'll tell you sort of all sorts of information about that particular topic. I do urge a little bit of caution when using USAA.gov because it does include things from all sorts of levels of government, and government does a lot more than just provide information on topics. So for instance, in a lot of places, sports programs and things like baseball programs are organized through a local town government. So in this case, you can see that like I can click on Murfreesboro's website and find out information about their Little League. That's very useful if you live in that town and you would like to know how their Little League program works. But for most people who are doing college level research on baseball, this is not the best place to go. So you do want to be a little bit careful when you're using a site like USA.gov, or if you're going to Google and trying to add site:/gov to a search, that you're not getting information that is not appropriate for college level research. So to summarize, for government documents, you want to go to 2 places. The first is our prints collection, which you can search by going to the Books tab of our library homepage and choosing Government Documents under Location, or you can go to Research Tools and then Government Documents to get links to a bunch of electronic databases and websites that have lots of government information on them.